Hey everyone, welcome to the very first video on the new YouTube channel, Football Then and Now. I'm going to talk about who was the greatest Dallas Cowboys coach of all time, Tom Landry or Jimmy Johnson. It's come down to those two, nobody else compares. First, a little bit about me. I'm a former blogger for many years. Uh, wasn't famous, didn't make a whole lot of money, but I was followed on Twitter by the Carolina Panthers at one time. I am 56 years old, live in North Carolina. Let's look at who is the best Dallas Cowboys coach of all time. Let's talk about Tom Landry first. When Tom Landry was a defensive coordinator for the New York Giants, he invented the 4-3 defense. He took that to the Cowboys, changed it to the flex defense, which was very famous at one point in football history. Not only did Tom Landry coach the defense and invent the 4-3 defense, he was a offensive coach as well. He's the only modern day coach I can think of that coached offense and defense. Maybe Bill Belichick dabbled, I'm sure he did, but Tom Landry actually called offensive plays, and he was a defensive-minded coach. Landry is credited for bringing the shotgun back to modern NFL, which now almost every team uses it. All teams use it probably, to some extent. He didn't invent the shotgun formation. That was done by, I believe, Red Hickey in San Francisco in the 50s. But Tom Landry was an innovator on offense and defense. Tom Landry was the first Dallas Cowboys head coach. And he went 250, 162, and 6 in the NFL regular season. He went 20 and 16 in the playoffs. Not a great record, but many coaches throughout history would love to have 20 playoff wins. He went 2 and 3 as a Super Bowl coach, losing record in the Super Bowl. And he was the, if you thought of the Dallas Cowboys for many years, you thought of a man in the funny hat. Tom Landry on the sidelines in a suit, no emotion. I wouldn't think he would be considered a player's coach. He didn't want to show emotion. He didn't want to have emotional attachment to the players. His ideal player would have been a robot that did what they were told and didn't question anything. Matter of fact, he was known for trying an experiment where I believe it was Roger Staubach and Craig Morton alternated on each play. Quarterback would play a play, get out of the game. The other quarterback would come in with a new play. Both quarterbacks hated it. Landry swore it was the perfect system. He could find quarterbacks that would adhere to it. But Landry was the face of the Dallas Cowboys for many years. To the point that when he was fired, the way he was fired, I thought was disrespectful. I quit being a Cowboys fan. I was a Cowboys fan to that point. I thought he needed to go, but I just thought it was handled very badly by Jerry Jones. Now let's look at Jimmy Johnson. Jimmy Johnson would be considered a player's coach if you were a good player anyway. Not so much if you were a fringe player who he would release to make a statement. But Jimmy Johnson came in from the college ranks. People thought he got the job because he was Jerry Jones' best friend. We later found out they didn't particularly like each other, at least not at the end. Johnson won a national title at Miami in college, and he won 2 Super Bowls with the Dallas Cowboys in a short amount of time. Jimmy Johnson was a good talent evaluator, a good motivator. I don't believe he was anywhere near Tom Landry in the X's and O's department. Matter of fact, I know he wasn't. Johnson went 80 and 44 in the regular season and had a very good 7-1 playoff record with 2 Super Bowl wins. And he was instrumental in the Herschel Walker trade that rebuilt the Dallas Cowboys. And Johnson, had he not been fired by Jerry Jones, I'm sure the Cowboys would have won the Super Bowl they won with Switzer and probably 1 or 2 more before Johnson eventually burned out of coaching, which he did in Miami for the Dolphins. I don't think he was going to coach much longer anywhere. but we'll never know. So Jimmy Johnson had great success in a short amount of time. Tom Landry had great success over a much longer period of time. Johnson never lost the Super Bowl. Some will say that makes him the greatest Dallas Cowboys coach of all time. I'm going to go with the man in the funny hat, Tom Landry. I think Tom Landry was one of the greatest NFL coaches, period, of all time. His record is still up there amongst the greats. Of course, that was partially due to longevity, just like Don Shula's. But I believe Landry was the greatest coach the Cowboys have ever had. He was an innovator on offense and defense. And I believe he was the best. Jimmy Johnson will have his supporters, especially amongst the people that didn't see Landry coach, wasn't around back then. Jimmy Johnson is popular on the media side now. People like him. That's fine. I just believe that Tom Landry is a better coach. Feel free to leave a comment. Tell me why I'm wrong or why I'm right. This is a brand new YouTube channel. Please subscribe and share and leave comments. Even if you don't like the video, I'd like to hear what your input is. You can be the first to subscribe to a brand new YouTube channel. Thank you for watching this and have a good day.